Good afternoon, Shiv. How are you?
Very good afternoon, Ashutosh sir. I'm fit as fiddle, doing fantabulous and stupendous in my life by the grace of Almighty God and after connecting people like you. So I'm feeling I'm over the moon. Thanks for your kind concern. How
That's good.
about you?
I'm always fantastic, as I say in my videos. So I'm fantastic today as well. And another question goes to you. How's your day going so far? And how's the weather in your place?
My day was going so fast, so good. By the grace of Almighty God, no complaint, and I'm enjoying my whole day. One comes to weather. Well, weather is a bit cold. That's why I've wear this cap and this hot trouser. But still, I'm enjoying. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. That's great. That's what I am feeling that maybe where are you? Maybe are you in London or Canada?
No, 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 no. I'm in India only right now.
Okay, I'm just kidding, okay? So now, as you're joining me
Oh,
for the first time on my YouTube channel, would you mind introducing yourself, please?
sure, why not? I would be more than happy to introduce myself. Well, my name is Shiv. I born and brought up in India, and my native place is Uttarakhand. By profession, I'm a central government employee. As far as my academic qualification concerned, I'm done with my master in English, master in commerce, and this year I'm pursuing my master in economics. This is my final year. In addition to this, I do teach English to beginners and intermediate speakers through different online applications as an unofficial English trainer. And moreover, I do have my own YouTube channel by the name of English with Teachership. So that's all from my side in brief.
Oh, that's great to hear about you. And you told me about your education, that you are still pursuing your master's in economics and you're a final year student. So, what are the plans for the future? Would you like to go for NET exam or would you like to go for the PhD? Do you have plans for that?
Actually, I didn't plan something yet, but what I'm thinking, I should go for something in field of spoken English. Like I want to become an English trainer, a professional English trainer. So I'm planning to pursue some online courses like TOEFL and CELTA and all. So I'm trying to prepare for that.
Oh, that's great. So it means you want to see yourself in a spoken English and you want to help people with the spoken English. That's a great idea. Okay. So coming to another question, tell me something about your hobbies. Do you enjoy doing something in your free time or you lost your hobbies?
Yes, I do agree with your second statement. I lost my hobbies and interest everything just because of this language. Because I've been speaking this for the last 3.5 years, and you won't believe I don't even have any social media application in my mobile. If I do have something that is all related to English, for example, those applications where I'm practicing phonetics, grammar application, and those applications where I'm practicing with some of co-learners. So, if you, in a nutshell, I would say I don't have any hobbies and interests, but yes, if I do have something to do in my leisure time, that's only improvising and upgrading my spoken English skills.
Yeah, that's great to hear your current answer. But what did you like before when I would say like school days? Remember your school days? What did you like doing there?
Well, most of the time I'd like to hang out with my friends. Sometimes I love to watch movies in cinemas. And yeah, that these are two hobbies I had in my like life before starting journey of learning this language.
Okay. What about the sports? Did you like anything in sports specific?
I was not that much good in sports, to be very honest with you. But yes, sometime I played like football and all. But still, I would say I was not that much passionate about sports and all. Yes,
Okay, since childhood you were not very much into sports. And didn't you get fever of
exactly.
because it's India?
No, it's not. I'm not fond of all that.
So that's great. You're fortunate enough and quite different from other people. Even though I'm the one who got the fever of cricket and I wanted to see myself as a cricketer, then later I wanted to see myself as a cricket commentator. I was very much into it because it's going everywhere now. Like all, like these
True.
60 days are busy with the cricket schedule. Okay.
Yeah, true. And
So
yes,
coming to
being an Indian, it should be there, but I don't know why I'm not having that interest to watch cricket, and I don't even have any
I would say it's
specific,
better than
hobbies like Indian.
it's better.
No, it's not, but
Of
yeah.
course, it is because nowadays people are wasting a lot of time by watching cricket for hours and hours, and they are investing money also in those things, which is not so good for so far, I would say. So, moving on to another question, can you tell me something about your place, where you come from? How will you describe your place beautifully?
Well, I'm from state Uttarakhand, and I hope all of you know very well that Uttarakhand considered as a Devbhumi. Like here, we have a lot of temples, Badrinath, Kedarnath, Gangotri, Yamunotri, and so many others temple. Moreover, I would say in nutshell, this is second heaven on earth. And in Uttarakhand, people are just coming for tourism. It's a very famous and prominent tourist place where the one who is love to indulge himself into adventure and all, he can go for rock climbing, parasailing, paragliding, river rafting. And the one who is nature lover could come here like Nainital and Masuri and some hilly areas where he would get a natural beauty like mountains, waterfalls, rivers, and so many diversity in culture as well. And people were here so innocent and gentle. They are always ready to help other, especially they are looking for their advancements and modification in terms of tourism. So that's all I can describe as state.
Okay, that's wonderful to know. But you gave a statement that is this is the second heaven on earth. So what do you consider? Where is the first heaven?
Of course, undoubtedly Jammu and Kashmir.
Okay. So that is the first heaven on this planet, right? On Earth, you said. That's wonderful. And second,
Yes.
just Uttarakhand. Okay. Don't you consider some other places as heaven? People call it Switzerland. So Switzerland is quite beautiful.
I haven't been there in Switzerland at all, so I couldn't say anything about it. I've watched their videos and I have watched some pictures of Switzerland in internet, but I couldn't, get chance to go there, so I couldn't say anything about it. But as far as my knowledge concerned about my own state and Jammu Kashmir, because I had been there for 3 months because of some reason, so that's why I consider Jammu and Kashmir the first heaven on earth, and then second, my own state, Uttarakhand.
Okay. Okay, that's great. And I can say third heaven is like Uttar Pradesh. Because I come from,
Because you belong to that place only. That's great.
yes, I'm just kidding. Of course, there are many other beautiful states. I would say Kerala, with the national beauty. So another question goes to you. Talking about your studies, how were you in your studies at the school, and how did you do? What kind of student you were? Quite serious, studious, or enjoying your life as a student? How was that?
Actually, I was not that much brilliant as you are, as I can see the level of proficiency you have in terms of spoken English. Of course not. But I was a very average kind of a student in my school days. But one thing that I love to say that I was so interested in co-curricular activities like poem competition, story narration, debate, and all these like painting. I was so good in all these kind of like extempore. So my teacher used to say me that, Shiv, definitely you're going to become a political leader one day for sure. But I'm not, unfortunately. But yes, so in terms of my study, I was average. And the very interesting part of my story is I completed my education in Hindi medium school. So before 3 years back, I couldn't be speak a single word in English. So that could be a miracle for me as well. Whenever I listen to myself, and I feel, okay, so is it you? It's the same who were before 3.5 years back. So I feel that yes, learning something new in your life is really imperative. If you want to see a change or miracle in your life, you have to take initiative in order to pursue that.
Yeah, brilliant answer, I would say. So, why I asked this question? Because before asking this question, I got one thing in my mind, and I wanted to ask you that did you write poem or you used to write poem? I don't know why I was getting that feeling to ask this. And you said that you were quite interested in taking part in those competitions to write poems. So, how did you like that process of writing poems? On how you used to gather thoughts, and do you continue that hobby now also? Sometimes do you get time to write something about the nature, about life, or what kind of things do you write?
Well, when it comes to my school days, I used to write poem from my own alone, and those poems were totally based on nature and the problem which were being, people are suffering from our society, and like those poems were based on reality. And I always, put an extra effort in order to make those poems quite real when I was reciting those poems in front of my, students and all. And but after completing my schooling, I left everything, honestly, because I started focusing on my career and I started focusing on my education, my further education, and then I started pursuing my academic qualification. But I left with that, interest of writing poem and reciting as well.
Exactly. It's very difficult to continue all those things further because nowadays we see cutthroat competition. Everybody is working and preparing for any jobs, so they do not get a time to work on those things. You are absolutely right. Okay. So, coming to the
Yes.
another question of the part of spoken English, as you have been talking about that you have been learning this language from last 3.5 years. So, how did you come with the thought of learning spoken English and becoming better in this language specifically? And as you used to write poems in Hindi, I think, right? Am I right?
Yeah.
Then how that
Yes.
shift, happened? That then how you started taking interest in spoken English, particularly?
Well, when I like after completing my school days and my study, I started preparing for government job, and just because of my perseverance and hard work, I got a government job. When I enrolled in government job, that was my, I guess, second week of that job, and there was a mate. He was working with me at the time, and he used to speak English in a very different way because I guess he had learned that accent and spoken English from somewhere. I was not acquainted with the guy, but just because of that language, like English, when he started speaking English, I started interacting with him, and I asked him in a simple way that I also want to speak like you as you are speaking right now. And he said that yes, you can also speak. But then I told him that, but how could I, as I have completed my study in Hindi medium school, and as you said, like you have studied in our convent school, so that's why you had that natural English environment in at your home, and whenever you speak with your friends, you or most of the time you speak in English. But in my case, I don't even know a ABCD of English. So how could I? In fact, I passed my schooling with grace marks in English. Then he said that's not a big deal. If you English is just a language, not a subject. If you want to master it, so he suggested me name of one application. I started using that application, and from there I started learning this language. But I don't know why. As soon as I started using that application, I fall in love with this language, and that made me to learn this language. And second reason was That was my first day. I still remember that I was like joining, I have joined someone's panel over there, and the host insulted and criticized me so badly. He told me, "Shiv, just leave it. You can't speak English, and just leave my panel." I said, "Why?" And he said, "The way you are speaking English, it seems to be that you are a rapist of this language, and you are doing postmortem of English, nothing else." And I was quite shocked. And I was asking to one question to myself, like, do I deserve this criticism from this guy? As I don't even know who is he. And my answer was no, I don't. And I promised to myself and I made a commitment to myself that I would learn this language anyhow at any cost. By hook, by crook, I don't know what will I do, but I I would need to master this language. From there, I started learning this language, and by the time I took interest in order to learn this language, because earlier for me English was just English, but later on I came to know that English is not only English. There are so many segments it has, like sentence formation, grammar, pronunciation, content, voice modulation, intonation, accent, dialects, and collocation, connotation of so many things. So this is all from my side about my English journey.
Exactly. Yes, I got it. But I want to clear one doubt of yours. I did not study in a convent school. I did not have any environment of spoken English. I started my journey when I was a student of my graduation degree. I started in only 2020, 20 years. So I didn't have any environment of spoken English. And I was same like you, was quite interested in Hindi. I used to write poems and I got good marks in Hindi, 99 out of 100 in board. So I was very, very much into Hindi language. But I liked language, I would say. And I liked English as a subject because I wanted to score good marks. But I was not into spoken English. So I started my journey in on 29th April 2020. So it's been 4 years for me also. So I did not have any environment. So that I wanted, I want you to know. Okay, another question goes to you. That is related to the hurdles of spoken English. What kind of hurdles did you face while you were learning this language?
Well, the first hurdle was the environment itself because no one was there with whom I can speak in English. And that's the reason I started using online platforms in order to hone my communication. Second was, of course, grammar. Still, I'm facing some problems regarding grammar because I took English as a language, not subject. I haven't studied English in a systematic manner where I need to follow some syllabus like rule and regulation, grammar rules, and everything. I haven't studied grammar in my life. But somehow, like by the time that I started interacting with people, subconsciously I have done basic grammar rules that I'm using right now. I don't have advanced rule and regulation in my mind in order to speak English. So sometimes I make some grammar mistake as well. Now, third obstacle was my vocabularies. I was so poor at my vocabularies, honestly. I know what I want to speak. I had everything in my mind, but I don't know what should I call it in English. I want to say andavishwas. So what is andavishwas in English? How can I say that? So from that, I started learning vocabularies. Somehow I conquered that problem as well. Then later on, the way I'm speaking right now, we can see that I don't have a pure Indian accent as people from India speak English generally, and I don't even have American, British. It's kind of mixed accent of American, British, and Indian accent. So people used to make fun of me for this particular thing. Then they used to say like, "Shiv, you are from India. You have to speak like an Indian. You don't need to pretend that you are a native speaker of English from the United States or United Kingdom and Canada or London, anywhere." I said, "What?" But I had one psychology in my mind at the time that I should not care about these people. They don't have anything to do, rather judging others and making comments on all others. Forget about them. Just focus on your roadmap that you have created for yourself in order to master this language. So these were some obstacles and hampers I have faced in my past few years. And luckily, I've overcome with all this. I just now don't even think about this problem, honestly speaking.
Yeah, it's quite common. It happens, of course, even though I faced criticism related to this, that why can't you speak like an Indian man? You're an Indian. So I said, of course, I am an Indian, but it does not mean that it's like one choice, right? So it happens most of the time. People do not like your accent, the way you talk, and that's very common everywhere. After this level, also, if you are going to interact with somebody on those platforms, you will come across the people who wouldn't like you as a speaker. That's there. So another question goes to you. Did you get some good friends in this spoken English journey who were quite supportive and they are supportive till now?
Yeah, I got two or three friends. They have supported me a lot in my the time when I was struggling a lot with this language. Like I was making bunch of grammar mistake. I wasn't able to pronounce the word correctly, and they have supported me a lot in terms of content creation because whenever I used to speak in a broken spoken English, honestly. And then they have gave me some tips and tricks like this is how you can improve yourself. You have to execute all these steps in your day-to-day real spoken English. From there, I started doing practice. I started implementing all those steps they have suggested me. And yeah, now I'm in front of you. And I would say there was so like there are very few people who are supportive to you. Most of the time, you'll find enemies, toxic people. They're always ready to bite you, honestly. It's very rare that you will find some good people who are so amicable with you and who are quite assertive in nature that they are always going to assist you, support you morally and like from education side, every side. But yes, luckily I got two or three, not more.
Exactly. It's very difficult to get genuine people in this journey. And of course, I got also a few of them and they were quite supportive. Still, they are supporting me to become better. That's really important to go forward. And of course, critics is the part of success, to be honest. You need people who criticize you and they help you to become better in your journey. Otherwise, you don't. So that's how it is.
True.
So moving to the final question of the session, that is, what piece of advice you would love to you love to give to the people who would like to speak English and they want to see themselves as a fluent speaker?
I would say, first of all, we need to understand the psychology of this language that we all are Indians and English is not our native language. So, while learning this language, if we are making any mistake, we should not feel ashamed about it. We should not expect the same level of perfectionism from ourselves as native speakers have in this language. And moreover, I would suggest people to learn more and more vocabs. Don't even obsess with grammar rules because in initial stage you should not create a trap of grammar for yourself. Rather, you should focus on your flow and confidence. Then practice is something that you can avoid. If you are consistent throughout your practice, you can see some impeccable result on your spoken English. Now, last but not least, LRWS, listening, reading, writing, and speaking. These are four modules, and you have to indulge yourself into these for like listening podcast and audiobooks, native speakers, authentic speakers. You have to read at least one page in one day, and the more you indulge yourself into writing, can accurate your spoken English and speaking, which you are doing right now. And in a nutshell, I'd say like don't be overstressed about it. English is just a language; it's not a rocket science to blast some bombs and all. And you have to enjoy the journey of learning this language. Keep patience and be determined and dedicated in order to learn this language. And sooner or later, you are going to become best version of yourself in this language. Yeah, that's all from my side.
Yes, exactly. That's a great answer, and it would be helpful for the people who would like to learn language because you have gone through the same journey and you understood how you can learn this language. Okay, so thank you so much. Many, many thanks to you, Shiv. Thanks for joining me today. I'm so happy that you gave me your precious time and you gave wonderful answers. So, all the best. Keep helping people and keep creating content. Thanks for joining me today.
Thank you, sir, for giving your precious time and connecting with me. It was really a fruitful and phenomenal conversation with you always. And Yeah, some other day we are going to talk about some other topics. Thank you, sir.
Exactly. Okay, bye bye. Take care.
Bye bye, sir. Take care.